Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So for those of you who possibly live under a rock, BlizzCon 2018 is currently going on in Los Angeles. Sadly, I can't go because the tickets run out immediately as soon as they hit the market. However, information is still always coming out of BlizzCon, and the developers at Blizzard have not disappointed this year at all. And particularly with Overwatch, they have unveiled a cinematic, and with that cinematic, they also unveiled a new playable hero, which is coming into the game sometime relatively soon, known as Ashe. And Ashe is a DPS hero, and she's all wonderful, and I'm excited to play her and give my feedback on her. However, they also unveiled, one might say, a potential hero, Hero 30, at the very end of the cinematic. And a lot of people thought that this individual was known as Athena because of previous concept arts that people were like, oh yeah, that's probably Athena. But it happens to be a completely different character known as Echo.
Hey there, cowboy.
Now, right off the bat, I want to just completely notify everyone that no information has come out on Echo. However, I have heard that Jeff Kaplan has somewhat heavily hinted that Echo was in development and might be the next upcoming hero. And I thought that, you know, what better to do than to do some theory crafting. So in this video, it will primarily be my ideas on how they can execute a new hero known as Echo, and particularly I'd like to see her be a supportive styled hero, most because of her overall design and her overall aura that she presents. She is very lithe and angelic and beautiful and graceful, and I don't think just from looking at her the rigor of close quarters combat or tanking is in her position. However, they could do something completely outlandish and make a character look completely regal and beautiful, but then be a severe tank and just ultimate damage and just wonderful. That'd be a really interesting dichotomy. However, in this video, I'll be talking about my potential wish list for Echo as a support playstyle. When making this wish list of a hero, my primary inspiration / resource was from Symmetra. I personally am a huge Symmetra fan. I play Symmetra quite often, and I played her previous iterations quite a bit. And I always loved the idea of a shielding support. And in the current roster for Overwatch in the healer / support category, there isn't a character that primarily focuses on the shielding aspect of the health pool and shielding in terms of tank shields and physical shields that are displayed on the battlefield. So with this said, let's jump into some of my thoughts and theories for a possible Echo. Now, I will be using some placeholder icons when appropriate and if they are available. If not, just use your imagination. So once again, Echo is a healer / more supportive character and primarily focuses on shielding allies and preventing damage rather than correcting it. So for her primary fire, I would label this as the light disc. The description would read something along the lines of, throw a disc of hard light forward, dealing damage to an enemy struck by the disc. If the disc hits an enemy, it will attempt to ricochet towards a nearby ally to grant them 10 temporary barrier, and the barrier would cap out at 30 barrier. This would allow her allies who are in closer quarters combat to receive some damage mitigation. Now, this ricochet would happen somewhere pretty close around the enemy. I'd say no bigger than a 10-meter radius. And for extra clarification with the temporary barrier ability, the light disc would have to ricochet and hit your ally, the same exact ally, 3 times to get the max of 30 temporary shields. And for those of you who don't really know what temporary shields are, they are things like Lucio's Sound Barrier and Doomfist passive, where he gains shields as he attacks. For Echo's secondary ability, I would label this as defensive wings, because in the cinematic, she does have some wing-like structures. Echo flings her wings in front of her, striking enemies at a very close range. When enemies are struck, Echo gains 25 temporary barrier, which caps out at 50. So she would need to strike an enemy twice to get the total of 50. Now, Echo would be a support character primarily in the backline, healing and, well, not necessarily healing, but shielding allies from the backline. If she happens to get ganked, she might have some capability of defending herself by using these defensive wings to increase her overall health in terms of temporary barrier. Now, the range on this ability would probably be the same as Reinhardt's melee attack, just to keep things stable. And I just thought that because this is kind of her melee attack, maybe she won't have like a classic strike with her fist, but this could just double as the same thing. So those are my ideas for Echo's two basic primary and secondary fires. Moving on to the skills. Echo, in my mind, in this build, would have 2 skills and, of course, 1 ultimate. She's not Symmetra, who previously had 2 ultimates. So for her first skill, she would have something known as Hard Light Shielding, and this ability would read, Echo grants an ally 50 shields, and additionally restores another 50 shields. This would be on something as low as a 4-second to maybe 5-second cooldown. So what this means, it kind of acts similarly to Symmetra 1.0's Photon Shield, where she would just straight up give an ally 50 shields, but then they of course nerfed it to 25 and made it useless. So this would do the same thing. It would give them a flat 50 shields, but if there's already 50 shields missing from them, they would gain an extra 50. This allows this ability to be more active than Symmetra 1.0's Photon Shield, because you're giving them 50 shields, and then if they were to take damage to where their shields are consumed, you could cast this on an ally once again, and instead of regaining health, they regain shields. Ultimately, you're still keeping them alive, because health and shields, they're pretty synonymous as long as they're alive. The only difference between health and shields is that shields will regenerate over time. Thinking about this skill's functionality a little bit deeper, it would actually work really well with someone, say, like a Zarya, a tank. So if her health pool is already being destroyed and her shields are getting consumed, and you're in the middle of combat and you haven't used this on her already, you're going to restore 50 shields and then give her an additional 50 permanently. So there is kind of a 2-functioning system for this skill. Flat giving the shields, and then restoring depleted shields. Moving on to her second skill, this would be called Echo of Peace. The description would read, heal an ally for 75 health. She does have some healing capability, because I just didn't want to make her purely shielding because everyone got mad at Symmetra for that. But in addition to giving them a flat 75 heal, Echo also empowers allies' existing shields and allows them to regenerate during combat. Now this regeneration would be the same rate as if the shield or the player was out of combat. So how shields work is that shields will regenerate if you're out of combat for, say, 2 to 3 seconds. This skill would tell basically the program that, oh, this character is out of combat, and just start regenerating the shield. After about, say, 4 or 5 seconds, it'll end up stopping. And finally, for her ultimate, it is known as Echoing Presence. Echo uplifts a large area of light, and if allies are in the area, all temporary barriers refrain from degenerating for 8 seconds. And additionally, all physical barriers, such as Reinhardt's shield, instantly restore 500 shields. Now, when thinking of the ultimate, I wanted something to complement Lucio's sound barrier. Now, the actual function of the skill in my mind, it wouldn't be a lingering AoE, it would be more instant cast. And the radius would not be as large as, say, Lucio's sound barrier, because that would be kind of overpowered in my eyes. Now, the degenerating factor has always been interesting with the temporary barriers for characters. So I wanted to see maybe a skill stop them from degenerating for a little bit. 8 seconds might be too high, but once again, this is all hypothetical and could be, of course, tuned or nerfed. And I'd say that is pretty much everything I'd like to see with Echo. I know I wanted a somewhat of a new rework for Symmetra, or rather, I've been feeling a bit nostalgic for her old kit. So with Echo, this might be the perfect opportunity to bring some of that shielding play and just overall add some new flair to how healers and supporters actually go about doing their jobs. Thank you so much everyone for watching. Like the video if you liked it, comment down below on your thoughts about Echo and about the skills that I offered in this video, or leave some of your ideas down below. I'd love to hear them. See you guys in the next video, and I'm so excited for Ash and future characters. So once again, see you all later. Bye-bye.